Welkom bij Bel'Afrika Media. Antwerpen heeft de eer u twee zeer grote poëten voor te stellen, namelijk Amir Sulaiman en Black Ice. Wij hebben de eer om deze twee artiesten te interviewen. Jullie zullen hen waarschijnlijk kennen van Def Jam Poetry. Ze hebben ook allebei teksten geschreven voor Jesse Jackson en zijn organisatie The Rainbow Coalition. Het eerste interview dat u kan zien is die van Amir, gevolgd door Black Ice.
She said that she would prefer a broken neck to another broken heart. Broken parts that litter the night sky like stars. And I said, remember, even the beauty of birth leaves its own scars. And know that you will find your home right where you are. She said, I know it sounds cliche, but I really am just waiting to exhale. Just waiting to breathe easy, just waiting to inhale. She said she's not waiting for no perfect man. She's not holding out for Denzel. She's just looking for a real man. But she said most of the realists were in graves or in jail. Just a real man, even a flawed man that means well. An upright brother, but she's just left with low-down brothers, homo thugs and down-low brothers. And it took her some time with herself to discover that having love is more important than having a lover. But what am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to say? That it's going to be okay. But it may not be. It may be hard and ugly, difficult, complicated, rough and bloody. And I said, so many women are struggling. She said, yeah, I'd like a man to kiss me. I'd like a man to hug me, but he's got to truly love love before he can truly love me. And I said, I feel you. She said, you're not feeling me. She said, we are women bringing up seeds. Our own sons grow up thinking love is a disease, ducking and dodging real relationships and just trying to take what they please. And they treat pregnancy like an STD. If the test comes back positive, it's a negative. And there are ghosts in the street, dro in the wind, only a moment to spend, and those moments are brief. Our sons' role models are rolling stones, unknown or deceased. So in this cold world, they find warmth with men holding the heat. And I said, there's got to be a change. She said, yeah, it's going to have to be more than poems on TV. I said, I feel you. She asked me how I survived. I said, by Allah, it was my mother. Otherwise, I would have been dead, crazy, institutionalized. And I wish I could really apologize for not really being able to thank her for giving me life. She always kept us in the good neighborhoods, even though she couldn't keep on the lights. So we could go to the best schools, learning to read and to write. And sometimes she'd be so broke in the store, she would have to choose between the beans and the rice. So sometimes she would put ketchup on a navy bean so it wouldn't seem like we're eating the same thing every night. 2 jobs during the day and 1 at night. And the struggle that I saw her endure, I never want to see in my wife. So I know that being a man is more than being male, and I'm focused on doing it right. But when I think about my childhood, I don't think about poverty. I remember how she hugged me, taught me, kissed me, loved me, and I know you prefer a broken neck to another broken heart, broken parts that litter the night sky like stars. But remember, even the beauty of birth leaves its own scars, and know that you will find your home right where you are. We will find our home right where we are.
You're a very spiritual man. You're obviously a black man. Do you maybe have a message for our many black viewers?
Yes, the big work is to know yourself. You know, if you know yourself, that gives you a type of power that no one can take away, and it gives you a type of grounding such that no one can move you, and it gives you a clarity of purpose such that no one can sway you or absorb you into their ideas or their worldview or their outlook that is detrimental to you. So it's knowing yourself, and when I say know yourself, meaning know your blackness, know where you come from, but even in addition to that, even beyond your blackness, knowing your spirit, knowing your soul, knowing your reality, knowing that you are a sea without shore, that you are more than all of the heavens and the earth. All of that is inside of you. More than all of the galaxies and all the solar system is just a metaphor for what is inside of you already. I've yet to learn the secret art of having peace at heart. I take the angst and the anger, make a piece of art, and then I speak it and I share it, and the peace departs to find its home in the warmth of the people's hearts. If I don't have peace with me, how can I have peace with God?
Black Ice, welcome in Antwerp.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for being here with us. You've worked with different musicians, with different poets as well. Amir Sulaiman is one of them. We had him over last week. Did you guys actually did some work together?
Amir and I have worked. We've done several shows together. We've done shows in Canada, obviously all across United States. Actually, when he was here, I was in Guyana. I can't talk enough about my connection, and anybody who comes within, Amir's energetic circumference, the connection that you have with him. If you are of any honesty, like he'll pull it out of you. He's like you said, he's just the perfect word to describe Amir is peace, and he's definitely one of the best, if there is a such thing when it comes to poets or spoken word artists. If there had to be, he would be in my top two of my favorite wordsmiths.
Talking about single mothers, you have a poem about single fathers that you brought yesterday in a Zuiderpershuis in Antwerp, which was very touchy because usually, like you said, people hear the version of the mother, but the father is always silent. Would you mind performing it for us?
Internal hurt of a lone soldier, so held firmly in my right arm with her head on my shoulder because that's the way she likes me to hold her. That's what I told her. Speaking about my daughter, in order to save face, because just before the embrace and all the I love yous and I miss yous, she clearly let me know that she had issues talking about, Daddy, where you been? And just then my mind began thinking back to those Saturday seldom show up days, those seem like my father don't want to bother helping me grow up days, so sick of not seeing my dad I want to throw up days, those my mom said you shouldn't come nowhere near where we resided because she decided to blow up days. Well, anyways, her eyes were always able to pull the disguise off of any lies I might try to use to summarize the situation. You see, it's funny the way it's second nature, the way I put these words to paper but couldn't figure out a simple explanation to offer my baby girl. Don't like having to admit that tomorrow's just a maybe girl, the famous ask your mom and see what she say, but the ball's on her court, so we got to play how she played. But hey, I tell my big girl not to fret because all this dirty will come out in life's wash, and we haven't finished filling up yet. You see, when two parents are not in conjunction, a dysfunctional child is inevitable. See, mommy's not on time with daddy, and daddy's not on time with mommy, so the child grows up off schedule. And it's incredible because he always told me that I would understand when I got older why he used to call himself the lone soldier. And one night when she called crying and I couldn't get to her to hold her, even though it wasn't some game shit, I felt like it was some lame shit, I told her. Just because I couldn't be right there after a nightmare about a fight between me and her mother. See, she's 6 and can't conceive how I could leave, and she won't see why we have to live in different places, or how come her and her little brother don't see each other's faces on a consistent basis. And it hurts when I have to lay down the hand of discipline, knowing that I just get to spend a short segment of time with her. So imagine how I feel when I got to hit her. And don't get it twisted, sometimes I mess up and don't get her because my ego won't let her mother call me a babysitter. But for my baby girl, I swallow my pride and show through. See, I love my kids. Ain't nothing I won't go through.
Thank you, very nice. We're Medium from Belgium, but we make things about African events in Belgium. Have you ever been to Africa?
I have been to South Africa, very short.
If you maybe have a message for the youth in general, black, white, yellow, anybody. But before you answer it, you wrote something that you performed yesterday as well called 410 Days in a Life. That to me is actually the answer to the question and very inspiring for the rest of us. Would you mind performing it?
It wrote, when you look at me and my brothers, what's your first impression? Does the sight of us leave you guessing, or do you understand the stressing, the aggression? The look of no hope on me and my niggas' faces, like the Lord overlooked us when he handed down his graces. You see, embraces fall short on the numb tips of street entrepreneurial fingers, still stuck in the walls of the project halls where the coke smell still lingers. External blingers is all we can be, because on the inside we've been given nothing to shine on. And a record deal is harder to get than coke, so My niggas get their grind on, because the TV tells us aim high, nigga, make all goals lateral. But see, that takes paper that we don't have, so niggas put their souls up as collateral. Now, some niggas reclaim them, some blame them, make an excuse to sell them. But when a nigga goes from not doing to doing, what can you tell him? Not to be a nigga? Shit, I got to be a nigga. That's how I pay the bills. I'm going to do that whether I got to sling this coke or exploit these rhyme skills. See, America makes you an opportunist. And at the same time, they institutionalize you. So the fact that niggas get big record deals, big money, and then go to jail shouldn't surprise you. That's what lies do. And see, most of these guys do have raw talent, just an infantile education. So the business feeds you all the weed and ecstasy and a little bit of paper to provide some pacification from all the bullshit frustration they serve you. Meanwhile, they corrupt your perception of what the real is. See, they've taken all our businessmen and given them the mindsets of drug dealers, took all our messengers, made them rappers, just flapping their jaws, afraid to admit their treason, took all our soldiers for the cause, made them killers for no reason, and being fucked up, well, that's in this season. So if you're negative, you're positive, but if you're positive, you're called a hater. But I maintain control of my soul because I know it gets greater later, and I told you at the last show, shit, I'm no hater. I just know where the truth is. Been intertwined in this pudding for about a year now, so I know where the proof is. See, it lies in these Midtown Manhattan skyscrapers where former hustlers like myself sign papers and pull off fucked up capers like 16 infamous stars at a time. They got us chopping and bagging and serving that shit. Music is potent. It's straight to the soul, so it's much more addictive than crack is. Now, the high is just an illusion, all lies and confusion, but to feel that rush just once, my young bucks will go through it. So in essence, they still flooding the streets with the thugs, drugs, and killing. They just using these record labels to do it, taking our heartfelt demos and putting us in limos, trying to fuck up divine direction. But young black men have been trained to chase money and pussy, so we fall victim to our own erection and begin to convince ourselves we're on our way somewhere where we're not going. But ignorance is bliss, and niggas love this, so niggas take pride in not knowing. We not growing. I really don't care how slick you flowing if you ain't showing nothing to these kids or add nothing positive to the earth. Black ice been destined to touch the world ever since I was born. To be real, fuck a record deal. God gives me what I'm worth.